Welcome, everybody. We've got a local legend with us today. Just about everybody I know certainly knows who Stan Deyo is, and I don't want to date him, but he's been around long enough to sell 250,000 copies of just one of his books, The Cosmic Conspiracy. So I just want to welcome Stan to the stage. So grateful and appreciative to have you here.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate that. Years ago, Bob just touched on it for a brief moment, but years ago, I was recruited to work for Dr. Edward Teller's people down in Australia to develop anti-gravity and various other types of propulsion for circular craft that we had secretly. In essence, we still do, but in the late 70s, we had been helping supermen, the New Age movement might call them our alien elder brothers or something like that, but they were fallen angels. And they were human-like, and they had robots that were gray, and they were biological robots. They were soft tissue robots rather than mechanical ones like we use. We were kicked out of our bases that we helped them build underwater and under a pole and even some above ground, because once we had built the infrastructure, the mechanism for them to make their own weapons in a fight they're going to have with Yeshua, with Jesus in the time to come, they didn't need us anymore. And so we had a number of pitched battles and were kicked out. So what we have as technology and anti-gravity today for our own use is rather limited because these guys control the numbers across the planet. They're here again. One of my security guards in the program told me about a base that we had in Saudi Arabia, probably still do, I guess, I don't know. And it was 120 kilometers outside of Riyadh, where the green arrow points to that arc. In that little arc in the Twee Mountains, there was an alien and human base combined. And here is a portion of a secret base in that area. When I found it on Bing, I screen snapped several of them, and I've got more pictures of it up close, because it had unusual structures on the top of these hangars or whatever they are. They don't look like normal hangars where planes taxi out and fly off to an airstrip. These things go straight up in the air. Whatever's there comes right out of the top. I went back to Bing, and the area no longer exists. And I went back within an hour of screen snapping, and they must have found my IP address and just blocked it. I know the texture of the land, the color of the land, I know where it was, and I've gone over it inch by inch, and it's just gone. Anyway, I did have enough to show you there, so I thought I'd share that with you. Okay, in Daniel 11:36, I've covered this in the 2010 version of the Cosmic Conspiracy, where the Antichrist will honor an alien god. And they, before our time, the theologians would say, well, that's a foreign god, something not common to his people. It's an alien god, and we have those fallen ones who are not of our race, not of human race, and they are super powerful. And this is part of a plan that was formed after World War II to convince the people of Earth to accept a race of people that have obviously solved war and are peaceful and have super technology. They have no religious preference, no cultural bias here on the earth. They don't belong to the Russians, the Chinese, or whatever. They are them. And this is the alien god that the Antichrist of this time will honor. He won't worship him, but he will honor him, and he's a god of forces.
Coming to you from an undisclosed location deep in the heart of the Santa Monica Mountains, I'm your intrepid host, L.A. Marzulli, that I was looking at. And I'm on the Drudge Report this morning, and this story immediately pops out to me. And it says, UFO sightings are at an all-time high. I mean, I can't ask for better publicity for my new film than this. UFO sightings are... What are we to make of that? What are we to make of that when we have a heading on the Drudge Report, national news, right? Not fake news, not behind the corner. Don't look over here. It's the real deal. It's telling us UFO sightings are at an all-time high. Folks, I have to say it. UFOs are real, burgeoning, not going away. And with reports like this, we can see that the numbers are coming up through the roof. The bottom line is this, folks. The UFO phenomena, and as I talked yesterday, how it inexorably dovetails into the Darwinian paradigm, is, in my opinion, the coming great deception. What is the church going to do when we get reports on the Drudge Report and other mainstream media outlets that talk about UFO sightings, that there's a spike? Something's about to happen. Is it disclosure? In my opinion, it may be. And what you have to ask yourself is, what are you going to do if and when there is UFO disclosure? And the governments of the world stand up and say, well, we've known they've been here. They're actually our progenitors. They created all life on this planet. That is in direct opposition to the biblical prophetic narrative. It's completely different than the biblical prophetic narrative. And this is why I'm so passionate about it. I've written 10 books either on the subject or directly related to the subject about the Nephilim and the coming cosmic war. Look, we're in the midst of a regime change. There's no doubt about that. And the chaos that we see on this planet is because the old regime by Satan is being booted out. It's in the process of being booted out. And we're not close. I'm not saying, well, next Thursday at 4 o'clock, it's going to be over. That's not what I'm saying here. But we see this tension between the coming of the King, the return of the King, Yeshua Jesus, and the kingdom of the prince of the power of the air, i.e. Satan. By the way, one of his titles, and I just said it, is the prince of the power of the air. Think about that. The prince of the power of the air. UFOs, when they show up, and they show up in a variety of ways, everything from the classic disc shape to cigars to lights in the sky to orbs that dance around. People have had encounters. It's time to start talking about it. Think about the Drudge Report today. UFO sightings at an all-time high. Could this mean that we are on the verge of disclosure? It says in 2 Thessalonians that God sends them strong delusion. And I truly believe the strong delusion that we are seeing is the so-called UFO phenomenon. Thanks so much for watching these YouTube videos. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for your support. Remember, folks, I'll see you on the air or in the air. Thanks for watching.